Hello everyone, welcome to the MongoDB tutorial. And this MongoDB tutorial we completely learn about how exactly the MongoDB will be working. So how to do it, everything we'll learn. So before that, we have to discuss about the basic things of the database. Okay, so the database is one of the word. So this is the important thing in the MongoDB. So what exactly the meaning of this database? So database is one of the storage device. So nowadays we are using so many application. So any action if we perform on the application, so that will be stored in the database. So what we are going to store in the database? We store data in the database. So according to the industry, what exactly the meaning of this data? Data is nothing but raw fact which describes data is a raw fact which describes properties of properties of an object or entity. I would say entity or object. So this is about definition of the data. So if you select any object in the sense, uh, now I can select mobile is one of the device. So mobile has some basic information. Mobile in the sense it has some brand name. Okay, it might be a brand name will be there, and first one is the brand name, and second one price of the mobile, third one size of the mobile. Okay, so these all are the properties we can describe. So brand name, we have a multiple brand name, so I would select Realme is a one brand name. Multiple brands are available in the market, we can choose whatever we want. And price, I'll just provide a 20,000 rupees is the price. The next one, the size of the mobile size, I'll just go with what, 6.5 inch of the screen. So this Realme 20,000 and 6.5, this is the data, and brand name, price, size is all of the properties. This is object. So this information which describes this property of the object. So this is about the data. So in the similar manner, we have a database. So when we get the data, we'll start to store the data in database. Then what is the meaning of this database? Database is nothing but it's one of the place we can store the data. We can store the data. Okay. So this is about the database. So how to store the values or information or data into the database? So that is only we are learning. So first, in olden days, we was using different languages to communicate with the DBMS. Nowadays, the currently very booming is mongoDB. So before learning this mongoDB, we'll talk about basic thing on RDBMS. So what is the meaning of this RDBMS? This is Relational Database Management System. It is also very booming. Relational Database Management System. So it is also one of the database management system used to maintain the data and manage the data inside it. So this is completely belongs to the SQL language. So what is the full form of this SQL language? Structure query language. Structured query language. So now we'll talk about NoSQL, mongoDB. MongoDB is completely related to the NoSQL data is mongoDB. So this is also one of the database. So here we use NoSQL. NoSQL means this is the one of the unstructured unstructured query language. So what is the basic differentiation in the SQL and NoSQL? So let us talk about difference between SQL and NoSQL. So simple. So if you understand this differentiation of this SQL and NoSQL, then you can easily understand the concept in future. So let me use a table. Okay, just insert a table. I need two columns. Okay, so the first set I'm using SQL, the second set I'm using NoSQL. SQL and NoSQL. So now we'll talk about SQL. So SQL is a structured query language. Here we use RDBMS. RDBMS. The full form of the RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. In NoSQL, we are using DDMS, Data Distributed Database Management System. Okay, let me write distributed database management system. It is relational database management system. And here in the SQL we store the data in the form of table. Table has consist of the column and row format. But here we store the data in document format. So which is completely belongs to the JSON documentations. So we'll talk about how exactly the data will be stored in the JSON in the future class. So next, see this SQL means this RDBMS is always fixed schema or fixed. I would say better word is static schema, but it is dynamic schema. Static means always stable. It's keep on changing. Dynamic means keep on changing. And here we use SQL structured query language. Here we use unstructured query language. And so we are not preferred. Let me add this. So it actually preferred for complex query, but we not preferred complex query here. Not preferred a complex query. And SQL databases are vert- vertically vertically scalable scalable. So the NoSQL databases are horizontally scalable. And so a different kind of the application we are using in SQL and MongoDB. So let us discuss about the different applications. So for example, here example I'm going to write MySQL is one of the application, and Oracle and PostgreSQL also one of the example belongs to the SQL database. And here also we have some different application. So MongoDB, first one is MongoDB. Next, second one is Bigtable. Third one is Redis. So these are the different applications we used in NoSQL. So now we'll talk about what is NoSQL. So before learning this, we should know the basic thing. So we'll discuss about what is NoSQL. Okay, in simple, I would say NoSQL is not only the SQL; it's a one of future thing. So I'll give the point. First point: NoSQL is not only SQL; it's future. It's future. The second point: NoSQL is nothing but no non-SQL also we can say, and another is a non-relational. So NoSQL alias means another name non-SQL, and also we have another alias name that is non-relational. Non non-relational. And NoSQL databases is a key value database. So this is the very important NoSQL and DBs and databases are key value. Key and value. Key and value means that is JSON databases. Database. So let me change this 3. So this is the simple thing in the NoSQL part. So NoSQL is not only the SQL, it's a completely future. NoSQL alias another name is non-SQL and another name is non-relational. And NoSQL databases are always store the data in the form of key values. It is nothing but JSONs. So here we have a multiple categories. Okay, so now we'll talk about flavors of NoSQL. So these are all the different things we are using in the industries. A different application. Also we can see the first one. Okay, what happened? Yes, the first one is mongoDB. The second one is Amazon Document DB. Okay, nowadays AWS, these are all the very good thing. Amazon document DB, The third one, Google data data stores, etc. So these are the different flavors in NoSQL. So now we'll talk about what is mongoDB. What is mongoDB? So I would say this is the free and open source. It's a free and open source. Free in the sense it's a freely available in the market. Open source means anybody can download it. So this is called as open source, and it is one of the cross platform document oriented database. Document oriented database. It's free and open source cross platform document oriented database. We already discussed document is nothing but a JSON protocol we are using to store the data, a key and values. Okay, and MongoDB, here we use completely the JSON or CSV files like the document with the schema. So now I'll provide one more. In this DBs we'll use MongoDB uses JSON. The full form of the JSON is JavaScript object notation, or sometimes we use CSV files in the MongoDB. And MongoDB is specially classified as a NoSQL database program. So already we have discussed about the NoSQL thing. It's specially classified into NoSQL document program. Document program. So since the MongoDB is a document oriented database, then the MongoDB documents or documents all the documents are composed of key and value pair, and here it has some following structure we have to follow, and the following structure will be look like following structure will be look like let me type it. So this is curly braces. We should open the curly braces, and inside this we'll write some fields or information or columns we can write. So what happened for this? Yes, so not clicking here, so just field 1, and we'll use a colon, and here we can write values. So within the single quotes or double quotes we yeah, values, multiple values we can write. And the second one is field 2, same we use colon, within single quotes or double quotes we'll write values. Another values can use. This is the basic structure of the MongoDB documents. So you keep it in the square box. And MongoDB is a very easy language anybody can learn, and it's not a relational, and it does not have any join concept in the MongoDB. So now I would say the Mongo is not. So what are the not things will be present here? So the first, it is a very easy. It is nothing but not tough. Easy. Inside the bracket, let me put the value easy. And it doesn't have any, it does not have any joins concepts. And first of all, when we don't have a primary key and foreign key, then obviously we don't have a joins concept. In relational database management system, we use join concept to correlate the tables. Here there is no tables concept. Actually we are using a document, and document we cannot correlate. By using the different things, by we can correlate. But so here we don't have a joins concept. And the third point is, so it is not a relation, it is not RDBMS, not RDBMS. It is nothing but it is not a relational database system. So this is about the MongoDB part. And so MongoDB supports multiple languages like PHP, Node.js, Python, Java, C++, CS. So multiple language it can be supported, but here these are the very important and main languages we are using. Okay, MongoDB supporting languages. So what are the languages supported? Supported below mentioned language, below mentioned language. So what are those? So nowadays it's currently a booming language is Python. I would write Python. Second one, I'll go with the Java. Third one, I go with Node.js. Fourth one, I go with PHP. And the fifth one, I'm going with C++. And sixth one, I'm going with C sharp, etc. language it can be supported. In the next video, we'll talk about what is a database in MongoDB, what is a collection, what is database in MongoDB, and what is the meaning of this collection, and what is the meaning of this document. And the very important thing is CRUD operation, how we can perform CRUD operation in MongoDB. We'll learn in the next video. Thank you.